Okay, let's get this thing started. This is not the Morning Night Live, as you may well notice. This is Sunday, and I don't do my show on Sunday. But as you may have noticed, if you've gone back onto my YouTube channel, on Friday, my stream got blocked worldwide due to a copyright claim that was triggered by the YouTube content something system, content navigation detection, whatever system. And so today, I've decided to dispute that claim. Now, this is the second one I've had to do in the last week, and it always seems to pop up whenever I have an Elon Musk titled stream. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it today. There's no intro to this show. This is it. This is your intro. So perhaps we should get started. And to get started, well, it's just this music. So here we go. I'll turn this off. Just stop that music, please. Thank you. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this impromptu stream called How to Dispute a YouTube Copyright Claim. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the first part here on this show. We're going to show you what the claim was about and how I'm going to dispute it. And maybe you'll learn something about the YouTube system by watching this video. I hope so. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Maybe you know more than me. Maybe you're an attorney who's going to tell me you're an idiot, but I don't think so, because I've been on YouTube for what, 6, 7, 8 years now. Wow, 8 years already. No, 6 years. I've been on YouTube 6 years already, and I've navigated this system for a while, and actually I've gotten many of these content ID claims that you get, sometimes for music, sometimes for video, whatever. And I am 100%. I'm so far I'm 100%. Well, not 100%. I usually am able to dispute them. Now, the nice thing about the way YouTube has changed their system, as in the past, if you got one of these claims, it was automatically a copyright strike on your channel, and you'd be suspended for a period of time. Now, they eventually they figured out that maybe that's not the best way to do it. Now they do claims where the person who makes the claim can either take some of the revenue from your video. You end up sharing the revenue. It used to be they'd take all the revenue from your video, but now they share the relevant amount of revenue from the video, which are my videos. I'm a small channel. There's very little to take, but they take it, and I don't want them to take it anymore. So I pretty much have gotten to the point where I am disputing every copyright claim, and usually it's for background music. Like if I do an on-location stream, for example, my trail stop streams from a bar in my town where there's music and there's football games and stuff on TVs in the background. Those have been I've been very successful at disputing those claims, getting them taken away. They don't take my revenue. Occasionally there's whatever, people that will not remove the claim, but whatever. 99% of the time they remove the claim. They don't take revenue from my streams. Now the more difficult ones are the ones like I got this past week, where a couple different entities, actually it's both the same one both times, it's NBC Universal, has made claims because I've used segments of something that they own the copyright to. Now, that doesn't mean that they automatically have a claim that's valid. It doesn't mean they automatically can take money from me or get me blocked forever, because there's a simple concept of law, as we know, is known as fair use. Now, because I do a news and commentary program, I believe, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not giving any legal advice, but I've been doing this long enough to know that my content that I've used in the segments of different copyrighted material that I've used is in fair use. Fair use meaning that it's part of either commentary, criticism, newsworthiness, all sorts of things that's used for a different purpose than the original material. So today we're going to do one of these live. I'm going to show you what I do, and maybe this will be helpful to some people. Now, again, I'm not giving you any legal advice. I'm doing this to show you how I do it, and in some cases, you may want to get legal advice depending on how you use material. If you just take someone else's material and post it on the internet, never just to, I don't know, content snipe somebody, you can get hit with a copyright claim that you're not going to win. Okay. But again, in my experience, this is something that I'm pretty confident that I am in the right. And so we're going to do one of these live. Now, here is the material that was claimed. We'll just go into now, by the way, if you've never done one of these, you get one of these strikes, they send you an email telling you where to go, and then they refer you back to the YouTube studio to go find out where your material is. So for me, I need to, let me make sure I can make this so you can see it. All right, there's that. Here we go. So I've gotten 2 of these in the last week, okay? So here we go. We're in, here's my YouTube studio page, right? Dawg Knight, YouTube studio, and it lists, I go into my content. So usually you go to the dashboard first, okay? And they'll have a notice appear, important notifications. You received a copyright claim. Copyright owner claims some content on your video. Saturday. Oh, that's a Saturday Trail Stop stream. I'm not doing that one. We're doing this one. Copyright owner claims some content on your video. The Morning Night Live number 944. Elon Musk is killing Twitter. Please note this is not a copyright strike. Oh, well, it's not a copyright strike, but it's a copyright claim where, as I go into the options, it is not affected the channel. However, this entire stream is blocked worldwide. It cannot be seen. It's as if they've taken down the entire stream, and it's ineligible for monetization. Video can't earn revenue because it's blocked. And then you look down here, it tells you the content found from the movie Tar. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. A movie that I'm sure none of you've seen. I haven't seen it. I only saw the clip because there was a clip of it on Twitter. And then it gives you the time of the content found, which is actually not accurate because there's actually more of the content I used than this. But this is the part that was detected. And then it says video cannot be seen or monetized, blocked in all territories. And they actually give you a list of territories. Let's see if it's here. Nope. And then it gives you options. If you click these 3 buttons, it gives you an option to either trim out the segment where you could replace the song or mute the song. But this is not a song. This is actually a part of a movie. Rumble's not playing video, isn't it, though? Isn't it? Let's see. That's weird. Well, sorry about that. Well, I guess that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to close that down. The replay will be on Rumble of this, okay? All right. You can trim it out or you can dispute it. Well, if I trim it out, it trims out a segment of my show. Now, what's interesting is this is about, I don't even think it's a 4-minute segment of my show, of a show that lasted an hour and 43 minutes. A 3-minute segment of my show a show that lasted an hour and 43 minutes is taken down because of this one small segment of my show. So, needless to say, I'm not happy about that. In fact, I'm pretty pissed off about it. So, and then you can see, if you go into the content section of my dashboard, you can see I go into live because it was a live stream. Here it is. Morning Night Live number 944, blocked. This video contains copyright material and as a result has been blocked worldwide. And if you click here, this video cannot be monetized. And here's the copyright claim. And again, see the details, goes right back to that little copyright detail page where I can choose to trim it out or dispute it. Well, we today are going to dispute it. So here we go. Click dispute. Now it gives you some choices here once you click that. First of all, dispute claim with tar. I don't know how to pronounce it. I probably should. I might actually go watch the movie. It looks pretty interesting, although, well, I'll explain that later. It'll be in the explanation of the of my dispute. Now they ask you some questions though. Remember, the following are not valid reasons to dispute a content ID claim. 1, I own a copy of the song or video. That is not a valid reason to dispute a content ID claim. You may have bought the music and used it in your video, but guess what? You still can't use it without their permission. I am not making money from the video. That is also not a valid claim. It doesn't matter if you're making money from the video, which I do. I doesn't, whatever. But that's not a valid reason to dispute the claim. And or giving credit to the copyright owner. Oh, I used this music, but I gave credit to the copyright owner. I gave credit to the movie Tar, whatever. That's not a valid claim. But since my dispute is not based on any of the reasons above, I would still like to dispute this content ID claim. So I check this box and I hit continue. Now, then they give you a couple of reasons why you give some other reasons you're disputing the claim. It's original content. Well, nope, mine is not original content, at least the part that they're disputing or they're claiming. It says the content claimed in my video is original content and I own all the rights to it. No, I don't. I fully acknowledge I don't own the rights to the movie Tar. Let's just call it Tur from now on because that's what I'm going to do. License. I have permission or license to use the content claimed in my video. So if you have, for example, for music, if it's licensed music and you have a license to that music, you can dispute it for that reason. I don't have a license to the movie Tar. I don't claim to. The one below, now there's two farther down here. It's public domain. The content claimed in my video is in the public domain and is no longer protected by copyright. That is absolutely not the case. And this one is obviously not a public domain movie. And then the fourth choice, which I skipped, copyright exception, such as fair use. I have significantly transformed the content claimed in my video. The video is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or similar exceptions to copyright. That one is it. Well, that was pretty weak. What happened to my bell? Let's try that again. There we go. That's it. So I'm going to click that button and I am going to continue. Now, recently, YouTube changed the process for this. You have a couple different options once you click that button. You can dispute it, and the dispute gives the claimant 30 days to review your request and release the claim. And if the claimant disagrees with your request and reinstates the claim, you will still be able to appeal their decision. Okay. Or you can automatically escalate it to an appeal. But let's go through this dispute first. What happens when you dispute? Well, the claimant may release or reinstate the claim. If they don't take action in 30 days, the claim will be released. This is important. Your video will be made visible in 48 hours. So after 48 hours, they will make your video visible until the copyright owner disputes it. You don't have to give any contact information. If the claim is reinstated, you will be able to appeal, which is this over here. You can appeal that claim if they reinstate it. Or you can automatically escalate it to appeal, this is a shorter process that allows you to appeal without first disputing the claim. The claimant has 7 days to review, and if they disagree with your appeal, you might receive a copyright strike. Now, the difference between a claim and a strike is the claim just takes out the video from being viewed whatever territories they want. A strike, basically, well, it puts things into your hind parts. You get a strike on your channel, you lose 7 days, all that stuff, just like a content violation strike, right? You get 7 days, whatever. And also this remains on your record for 90 days, and it's detrimental to you. Now, I've already done one of these this week regarding the Dave Chappelle monologue on Saturday Night Live, where I used a portion of that, and I've seen other people appeal that, and they've had their shit reinstated, and I know I put in the escalate to appeal on that. I could get a strike on it, but I'm fairly confident the way I used that was fair use. But we're going to go through this one today. I've already done that one. We're going to do this one now. So here's what happens though when you escalate to appeal. What happens next? Claimant may release the claim or ask YouTube to remove your video. Now, that'd be interesting. They'd remove my video over a 3-minute, well, we'll get to that again. If they don't take action in 7 days, the claim will be released. So they may or may not take action in 7 days, but if they don't, it's automatically going to be released, which I think NBC Universal, especially on my one with Dave Chappelle, they'll wait it out the 7 days and probably let it be released. I'm hopefully that happens. If they give me a strike, I'd love to go to court on it. But anyway, your video will be made visible in 48 hours. So either way, in 48 hours, they're going to remake my stream from Friday visible again. And then we can fight it out later. But you are required to give contact information. So I have to give them my name, address, and all this other stuff because they want to know where to serve me if they decide to sue me. Okay, we'll go through that. Look, if this happens, I'll do my best to crowdfund defense, and I think they would look silly in court. But we'll get back to that. And then finally, if YouTube gets a valid removal request for your video, you will receive a copyright strike. Ooh, no. Boy, would that suck. All right. Well, I am feeling a little froggy today, so I'm going to jump. We're going to go straight to escalate to appeal because well, we'll see what happens. I could get 2 strikes this week, and you may not see my YouTube channel, and you might have to stick with me only on Rumble, but we'll see what happens. So here we go. I'm going to continue. So now, you click that after you go there, and now they give you some, I don't know if this is advice, what this is, but we're going to read through this, what they tell you once you click that little thingy there. So here it is. Fair use. Each case is different. There's no magic formula to determine whether you're protected by an exception to copyright, such as fair use or fair dealing. In general, courts look at the degree to which you've transformed the original content into something new and unique. You may want to get some legal advice if you're uncertain about disputing. Hey, I'm not a lawyer. If you go through this, you may want to get legal advice or at least get yourself well-versed on how fair use works. Maybe read a couple cases. I have one that I'll have in the links after the show that can kind of tell you where you're at. And I have a few good articles on fair use that I will include in the description at the end of this show. Now, types of reuse that may be okay. Parodying, as in a parody, or commenting on an original work may be protected by an exception to copyright, such as fair use or fair dealing. Examples include showing short clips of a film while reviewing that movie or quoting from a celebrity in order to make fun of what they said. I love making fun of what celebrities say because most celebrities are idiots. Common misconceptions about fair use. Giving credit to the copyright owner doesn't mean that you haven't infringed on their rights, and your video isn't protected just because you don't monetize it. Keep in mind that many countries have specific sets of exceptions to copyright, which are different from fair use. And then finally, the claimant has 7 days to respond, and you might receive a copyright strike. Now, that is some scary language. I do not want a copyright strike. That would suck. It would make my channel go down, and then I'd have to do everything on Rumble again, which is fine because I like streaming on Rumble too, but I like having both YouTube and Rumble available to me. But, I'll take my chances here. The claimant may approve your appeal, let it expire, request that your video be removed from YouTube immediately, or request that it be scheduled for removal in 7 days. If they approve your appeal or fail to take action, the claim will be released, which lets you use the copyrighted material in your videos. If they ask us to remove the video from YouTube and we determine that the removal request complies with the law, your video will be taken down. If this happens, you will receive a copyright strike. If your video is taken down and you still believe it is a mistake, you will have the option to submit a counter notification, and then they give you a link here to learn more about escalating to appeal. Wait a minute. I'm already escalating this to appeal. Maybe you escalate it to the double secret super social super soaker appeal. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. And then they give you a link to learn more about fair use, which I already have the copy of the article they send you to. So we're going to continue. I'm going to click this button that says, I understand the risks of filing an appeal and want to proceed, because I do understand the risk of filing an appeal and I do want to proceed. Here we go. Click continue. Boom. There we are. Now, this portion I'm going to remove from the screen just so that I can put in my full legal name. And I'm even spelling out my middle name just for effect. And then they ask you your email, which is pdawgknight@gmail.com. If any of you want to email me shit. They ask you your country. I am from the United States of America. Now, it's interesting. They give you this drop-down box, but they keep the entire thing in alphabetical order. I would guess that. So they give you this list, right? Afghanistan, Alan Islands, Albania, Algeria. I mean, every country in the world. I'm pretty sure the United States is probably one of the most popular ones on there, but they make you scroll down to find the United States. So here we go. There it is. Now you can obviously use shortcut tricks to get to that. But anyway, then your street address. Oops, I can't even spell my address. Drive, and my city, and my state, and my zip code. There we go. Click continue. Now let's bring this back up on the screen. So now that I do not want to dox myself. So now they give you some boxes to do here, and how they're doing it. Now they ask, let's see, please explain why your use of claim content is protected by an exception to copyright such as fair use or fair dealing. This will go to the claimant for review. And then again, they give you that little hyperlink to learn more about fair use. So what am I going to use? Let's see. Is it a promotional video? No. Remix? No. Reaction? Yeah, kind of. I'm reacting. Oh, wait a minute. Educational? Yes, but I'm not going to click that because they'll give you one choice. I would put reaction, educational, news report, commentary, review, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to put in news report because that's really what it is in this case. It's commentary, it's news report, it's all kinds of things. But now let me tell you what, here's the options, or here's what they're going to have you fill in some boxes. And they give you 2,000 characters per box to fill in. I'm certainly not going to use all that. And now the other thing too is I strongly recommend that before you start typing in these boxes, go into another app or something and type out what you're going to say first. It's so much easier to edit, cut, paste, whatever stuff into a separate program. I'm going to be using, what do they call this? It's Google Docs. I'm going to do it in Google Docs, right? And write these out in advance and cut and paste them into here because it's a pain in the ass to try to edit within these boxes. But here's the questions they ask you. Does your use significantly transform the original work, or does it serve the same purpose? Now that's an interesting question because I'll get to that when I explain these. The second box is, what is the nature of the copyrighted work? And then how much of the original content is used? That's an interesting question in law, which we'll talk about that. Is your video a substitute for the original content? Now, that's weird. So I suppose if you were, let's say, for example, you took a music video for a song that you really like, and you like the music video a lot, so you just took the music video and made a copy of it and then posted it to your channel. Well, in a way, yes, in that case, your video would be a substitute for the original content because you're playing the exact same content that as the original content. Well, that's not the case here. In fact, I'm using a very tiny portion of this entire movie, so clearly that's not going to be, but we'll get to that too. Then they ask you one other question. Is there any other information the copyright owner should be aware of? So I've written these out in advance, so we're going to go through each of these for this particular content, and then that's going to be the end of my video. And then we're going to go back and see, whoa, well, in a week or so, we're going to come back with what happened, or in a week or so, I'll be on Rumbo telling you what happened and how I'm going to appeal what happened if that is the case that I'm not on YouTube for a short period of time because of this. So let's just go ahead and look at what I've already written. As I said, I've already done this on Google Docs. Let's see, not in this one, it's on this one. And here it is. So now, this is from a scene from a movie called Terror, but I'm saying Tur because I don't know how to pronounce it. And the content claim was from NBC Universal. So I've pre-written out my responses. Let's go through each of these for this particular movie, and then we're going to cut and paste them into the boxes. So the first question for this movie was, does your use significantly transform the original work, or does it serve the same purpose? And this is a required answer. So here's my answer. Well, there is a clear transformation of the original work as a news story relevant to my genre and audience, that would be you. It serves a much different purpose than the claimed small original scene from this movie. First, it is used within a 3-minute and 53-second segment of a 1-hour 42-minute segment and 20 seconds of my daily news and commentary program, which has run for over 900 episodes. My show regularly covers multiple topics per episode, including current events, news analysis, and commentary on politics, culture, social trends, and popular entertainment. Further, not only was there a running reaction and commentary during the scene being critiqued, there was also critique and commentary about the scene after it was played. This is clearly fair use in the same manner as any movie critic would use a similar scene from any movie. The purpose and character of the use is transformative in that it imbues it with a character different from that from which it was created. It is much different than playing the scene strictly to entertain my audiences, which is what movies do. It is clearly playing the scene to answer for my audience the original question from Twitter, the Twitter post it was taken. Quote, has Hollywood gone anti-woke? End quote. I am conveying both why the question was asked and giving the answer to that question by using the scene and my original reaction and commentary critique of the scene. There is certainly supporting case law for this type of usage of original work as fair use, including Hughes versus Benjamin. Now, Hughes versus Benjamin, if you remember, Akilah Hughes sued Carl Benjamin, a.k.a. Sargon of Akkad, over some use of video footage. I'm actually including a really good summary of that. Where is it? Here's a really good summary of this case. Wait, where? Hughes versus Benjamin. Oh, where'd the other one go? I have a couple of these versions of this. But anyway, this is the actual case text from Hughes versus Benjamin, which I'll have in the links below. And then also, here's the summary of that particular case, which tells you a lot about how fair use is used. But anyway, so we're going to cut and paste that into the little box here. Bam. There we go. And I used 1,500 characters out of 2,000. It fits, so I don't have to make any changes to that. Next question. What is the nature of the copyrighted work? Well, that's a good question. And this is funny because I'm using a little, what is it? How long? What is it? Not even a 3-minute scene of this. And out of my hour 48 live stream, it's clearly news and whatnot. But anyway, so what's the question? What is the nature of the copyrighted work? Well, the original work, a single scene from the movie Tur, is a dramatic film based on a fictional character, Lydia Tur, is intended to be for the purposes of entertainment, although, like most films, probably has plenty of socio-political themes running throughout because most movies today just can't write a good story. It does make me curious to see how heavy-handed these types of themes are in this film. However, judging by the reviews of this movie, the creators seem to have hit their mark on the entertainment aspect and likely the socio-political aspect, since most critics loved the film. Although I wouldn't know for sure, as I haven't seen nor even heard of the film prior to commenting on the scene on my morning news and commentary program. Nor has the majority of my audience ever heard of this film prior to seeing the scene in question on my show. The scene I found on Twitter has, however, intrigued me, and I will probably use some of my hard-earned money to see the entire film and perhaps give a longer critique of it at a later time. I hear Cate Blanchett is phenomenal. I have now watched trailers for this film, and certainly it is something that interests me as an amateur musician and movie buff, and I'm sure my wife will like it too. This is in contrast to the nature of the use of the original scene in my news story on my news program, reporting on a controversial and newsworthy subject, woke Hollywood dogma, and critiquing that particular scene in that vein. We'll cut and paste. 1,496 characters out of 2,000. Let's continue. How much of the original content is used? This is also required. Now, that's an interesting topic, because if you read Hughes versus Benjamin, there's a line in here. Wait, not this. Maybe it's in this one. Where they go down here and they say a third factor is the amount and substantiality of the portion used. The court considers the quantity and quality and importance of the materials used. In that case, they say the crux of the inquiry is whether no more content was taken than necessary given the purpose and character of the allegedly infringing use. So he copied 20% of Akilah Hughes's content and still won this case on the copyright claim. I've used significantly less than that, but that doesn't really matter. It's more important on how I use it. So let's go back to that, and I'll show you my answer for how much of the content was used. The scene shown and critiqued in my news segment was 3 minutes and 3 seconds of a film that runs approximately 2 hours and 38 minutes. I do find this an interesting question, though, as the court would consider the amount and substantiality of the portion used and the quantity, quality, and importance of the materials used. And then I quote the Benjamin case, quote, "The crux of the inquiry is whether no more content was taken than necessary given the purpose and character of the allegedly infringing use." And I note that's from Hughes versus Benjamin. Clearly, this is my own words again, clearly the amount of material used in this case, 3.2% of the film Terror, is only as much as deemed necessary for the purpose of answering the original question in my commentary, and not even a critique of the entire film. Further, it introduces a piece of art to my audience they probably otherwise would have never heard of until movie award season sometime early next year. Yes, I kind of took a shot at them because you would have never heard of this movie until Oscar time, I'm guessing, because, well, I'm pretty sure that the rest of the movie is fairly woke, and I'm going to go watch it and find out. So let's cut and paste. Again, I do recommend writing your answers out somewhere else. They're much easier to edit in a different format. Next question. Is your video a substitute for the original content? Now that's interesting because this is a 2.5 hour movie, and I'm taking about 3 minutes from it. I don't know why they would think this is a substitute for the original content, but this is a required answer. Now, again, I gave you an example. What would be a substitute for original content if you just copied a music video and put it on your channel? Yes, that would be a substitute for the original content because you're just playing the same music video for other people to see, and they would have a valid reason to strike you here. But here, my answer to the question, is your video a substitute for the original content? Absolutely not. As stated earlier, the original content was a small scene of a 2.5 hour dramatic film about a fictional composer-director intended to entertain movie audiences and film critics. And I would put emphasis on the latter if there was a way to put it in bold, because I'm pretty sure this movie was intended to entertain movie critics more than anybody else. And I'm going to guess that Cate Blanchett will get a Best Actress for this. It's just that type of film, you know? Anyway, I continue. This new content, which includes a small portion of a long-form film, is a news report and commentary critique of the original work as it relates to current socio-political norms. And that's all I need to say about that, because no, it's not a substitute for the original work. Let's cut and paste. Next question. Is there any other information the copyright owner should be aware of? Now, I chose to use subtle snark in my answer to this. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but because I am pretty confident with my knowledge of fair use in copyright law, even though I'm not a lawyer and I'm not giving you legal advice, I would say that I feel comfortable being subtly snarky. What's the word? Is that the word? I don't know. So here's my answer. Is there any other information the copyright owner should be aware of? Yes, absolutely. Now, I go legal first. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. My new and original content that includes the claimed work clearly meets the standard for fair use under U.S. copyright law as news and commentary, and it has no negative effect on the marketability for the original work. In fact, my commentary may even bring new viewers to the original whole work, as the vast majority of my audience would never have heard of this movie until it wins some type of award for being a groundbreaking movie about a brilliant but conflicted female composer. Blah, blah, blah. If this is pursued further, there will be considerable case law precedent that supports my claims of fair use, and I would have a perfectly valid reason to make a counterclaim. Please remove the claim and block on this video. It is embarrassingly invalid. Cut, copy, whoops, that's me, copy, and paste. And that's the last box you got to fill out. Now, I only used 1,037 characters here, I used 300 here, 900 here, 1,400, 1,500 there, whatever. I didn't overstate the boxes. So now you have to click these next three things. Please review the statements below and check the boxes to agree. First box, I am aware that there may be adverse legal consequences if I make false allegations through this process. I am very aware of that. Number two box, I understand that the personal contact information I provided will be shared with the claimant. I am fully aware of that. In fact, here's the other thing. If you do just the dispute, I would still give them your contact information and tell them that this is where you would receive any legal papers, just to let them know that, I'm not playing around unless you're not really sure of your claim. I feel very confident of my claim. Okay. So I'm going straight to the appeal, and I'm just bypassing the dispute process. But again, I can't give you legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, even though I have one of my nicknames is Lawyer Dog. I'm not a lawyer. So I've just had enough education on this that I feel confident of my dispute, my appeal, whatever. So anyway, I am clicking that box. I understand that the personal information will be provided and shared with the claimant. And then the final one, I understand that if the claimant responds to my appeal by requesting removal of my video and YouTube determines that the request meets legal requirements, my video will be removed and a copyright strike will be given to my account. If I receive 3 copyright strikes, my account may be terminated. Now, I don't know on copyright strikes. This is the other part. I don't have any copyright strikes on my channel because I've successfully, well, back when they were always a strike, I've always successfully disputed them and they've removed them. But I don't know if copyright strikes are 3 strikes, you're out. I know that if you have too many claims, they kind of put dings on your channel and they're constantly, you know, putting limited monetization on my channel for stupid shit because somehow I'm on their radar for that. But I think it still works like the content strikes, where after 90 days they fall off as far as being your 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not sure, but I understand that. FTG to them. And then they require your signature, which I will do here. And I can't remember what pops up after you hit send, so I'm going to take it off the screen for a second. There's my signature. And then I click submit. And let's see what pops up. Here's what pops up. You get a little box that says, appeal submitted. We've sent your appeal to the claimant for review. The claimant now has 7 days to review your appeal. If they do not respond within 7 days, the claim will be released automatically. We'll send you an email to let you know the outcome. Now, and then we close that and goes back to this box. So, so there you go. That's the appeal. Now, if they respond before 7 days, I'll be making a follow-up video to this to tell you what happened. If they do not respond within 7 days, I will make a follow-up video to tell you what happened, and we'll see how it goes from there. So now I've put some resources in with this. They'll be in the description afterwards. I'll add them to the description of this video. Here's just to show you what's going to be there. You'll find the Loeb versus Lowe review of the Hughes versus Benjamin case, which kind of tells you what the U.S. district. Oh, see, this is a district court. Yeah, this is in U.S. district court. So this is copyright. This is because, first of all, Carl Benjamin lives in the U.K. And he actually said, you know what, I'm not playing this game with Akilah Hughes. Oh, I should probably put it on the screen, right? Here you go. So here's the summary of that case. Then also, I actually have a transcript, or excuse me, the case. This is the actual opinion put out from the court in that case, which you can read that if you are really, really, really nerdy. Let's see, what's this one? This is just an article. Oh, and then also, Carl Benjamin went back and sued Akilah Hughes for his attorney fees and won. So there's an article about that if you don't remember that case. And then honestly, I'm curious about this movie. I really am. So I'm also going to include some information on the movie Tara right here, and there's her picture. I don't want to get caught up in another one of these, but I will. And then I don't need this page. But here's the Rotten Tomatoes review on Tara, which 92% tomato meter from critics, and also the audience score is 72%. So most people like this movie. So we'll see. But you know, the thing is, have any of you ever heard of this movie before I talked about it? I certainly hadn't. I had no idea. So anyway, if you want to get the scenario on what the movie's about, here it is, the plot and all that. Here's the Wikipedia page. Here's an article from The Atlantic who seems to, I can't tell. I'm going to read this article. It seems to be lukewarm to the movie. But if you want to actually see reviews, you can go through Rotten Tomatoes and you can see all the reviews down here. And then the other resources I have, this is the Fair Use Information Digital Media Law Project that YouTube directs you to, giving you a very good description and synopsis of how fair use works, what it protects and what it doesn't protect, why they ask you the certain questions. In fact, the 4 questions they ask before, do you have any other information you'd like to tell them, is those 4 things: purpose and character of your use, the nature of the copyrighted work, amount and substantiality of the portion used. And I use this language in there in my response on purpose to let them know that I probably know more that I'm talking about than they think I do. So don't mess with me. Starting with an F, don't mess with me. starting with F, you know what the F stands for. And then finally, the effect your use upon the potential market of the copyrighted work, which is 0. In fact, my use of the copyrighted section of that movie probably has a positive potential market for the copyrighted work, because most people have never heard of this damn movie, and now you have, and you might be interested in go seeing it. I know that I actually am interested in seeing it. So Lady Boomer and I will probably figure out a way to watch it where we don't have to go to a movie theater. Anyway, and then finally, how do we explain the copyright broke, explaining copyright broke the YouTube copyright system. Their copyright system sucks. I'm just saying. They are so overzealous. They're so much quick to take people down. So, for example, this happens on my channel a lot, and I'll show you, because in my trail stop streams, you know, there's always music and football games and other crap in the background. So sometimes I'll get a video flagged because it hears every bit of background music in my video. And so I have to go through and dispute every single one of these claims one at a time. I can't even do it at once. The movie doesn't look good to me at all. I'm into music, and I was a musician in my younger days, so that's why it looks interesting to me. Some people won't. And look, the scene that from the movie that I showed you on Friday, it seems very based, just from that scene, because the student is saying that he won't listen to Bach, or won't consider directing Bach in a music setting because he's a cis white male, and she rips him to shreds over that. I loved it, and it was very apropos to my channel, and that's the part that I thought sounded good. It does look like it could be long, slow, somewhat boring, although some of the reviews says that you can't even believe it's 2.5 hours long because it doesn't feel that. And Kate Blanchett plays a cold hearted character very well, because, well, Kate Blanchett looks like a cold-hearted person. But anyway, that doesn't matter. But when you're in the bar, and I do live streams from a bar, and all this music's playing in the background, I get all these strikes, and I have to do this every time. Although this last one I only got 2. Sometimes there was one time that I did one of the trail stop streams, and I was using a different microphone, and it picked up all the music in the background. I think I got 12 strikes in one stream, or not strikes, content claims in one stream. So I'm like, I'm not sharing revenue for the 12 different claimants. And of the 12 I disputed, only one wanted to keep the dispute on, because incidental background music, there's case law that incidental background music, or even if it's the background music in the video that's prominently featured because someone happens to be dancing, that can be considered fair use. There was a video about a dancing baby, and Prince was playing in the background, and the baby started dancing. And they tried to do a content strike and claim on that video, and it went to court. And the court said, look, this is completely different usage of that material than the original use. And that's not the purpose of the video. The music's not the purpose of the video. The dancing baby is the purpose of the video. And so that made that fair use claim was considered valid. So background music can be a valid fair use claim, which I've all but one. I mean, I've had probably 40 or 50 of these, and only one has ever tried to say, oh no, that's not fair use. And then I just said, fuck it, I don't feel like appealing it and getting a strike over some stupid shit, even though I know there's case law that supports what I did. So, and then finally, I don't think you need that one. This is just, no, that's just my channel. So anyway, so that's the stream. That's what we're done talking about. I want you to, well, in a week or so, or depending on how soon they reply to this, this appeal, I will be doing a follow-up video to tell you exactly what happened. Hopefully it's very short. Hopefully it's very short. Just a video saying, ha, 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 you know, the Simpson character that goes, ha, ha. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I appreciate you watching my video here today, or my stream here today. But that's all. I don't have anything else to say. So I hope that you all learned something today, at least on how to do a a dispute and or appeal. Now, the dispute process is a little different in that you get pretty much one box. You get to say why you're disputing this, but I thought for sure this was deserved a much more thorough takedown of what that was. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I got to go. We're going to go clean my living room and get ready for Thanksgiving because we got a busy week. So we're going to start setting up stuff today. And I have another turkey to smoke. Whew. I hate carrying that giant bong, though. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. We'll see you on my regular show Monday through Friday for the Morning Night Live, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I got to go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.